Hey, what's up, guys? Can you believe what time is it?
10:20.
10:20 and it's still light outside? This is like 8 o'clock lighting. No, actually, at 8 o'clock it's way brighter than this because the sun is like right there when it's 8 o'clock, but now it's 10:30-ish. So the sun is way over there, but still light out. How are you guys doing? If you are new to the channel, thank you for joining. Appreciate that. If you are new to the lives, or haven't watched the live yet, sometimes people don't like them because we're just talking and they're better when you're here. So thanks for being here, the folks of you. That didn't make sense, the folks of you. Those of you who are here. I just released a vlog today. Finished filming that yesterday or the day before. Can't remember exactly. And I gotta tell you, if you watched it, you'll understand this. When I look over here to my right, I don't recognize that. It's so weird. Like, I know I did that, but it just looks so strange. Because for so long, it's just been a mess of different materials. I mean, it's still different materials, but now it's all relatively one color. It looks weird. Ashley was thinking we would change the color of the door, just that, it's never going to look like, it's not going to win awards looking like that, but with a different colored door, like a navy door, it'll look cool. Navy has unintentionally become our
Yeah.
color. Not our color, but what do you call that?
Started with the shingles, right?
The shingles are not navy, but they're blue. So blue, let's say blue.
Yeah.
Blue has accidentally become the color. Uh, we got that's that's it. I jinxed it. Earlier today, I was just over in the garden and I said, "Where are all the mosquitoes?" Like that was just like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Now that's 2 mosquitoes just in this short time that I've been live. This 2 minutes or however long it's been. What the heck? Um, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, blue has somehow become the color that our go-to color. So our roof is blue, our door is blue, and some of you know that we're gonna get sheep at some point. That has been postponed further down the line. We're not gonna get them this year, and we're probably not gonna get them next year, depending. But our barn, should we say? I mean, it's kind of obvious what I'm going to say. Our barn, we're thinking about doing a blue, like a navy blue barn. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that would be cool? It's like most barns, like when you think of barns, probably barns can be any color. When you think of a barn, you probably think red. And uh, if you're like me, you think red with a green roof. We're going to do blue, like a navy blue, probably. It might change. Navy blue with a black roof. So, we'll see. Maybe we should do blue with a green roof. That would look horrible, but at least there would be some. The windows and stuff will all be black. The trim will be black. I think it'll look cool. We're not actually going to do a green roof on there. That would look stupid. But if we were going to do a red barn, I would for sure have a green roof. That's actually been not a dream of mine, but a thing that I've had in my mind since I was a kid, that I would have a barn that is red with a green roof. But kind of like the idea of a blue barn, because we can do something around it maybe too. I don't know. We'll see. That sounds so pretentious. Blue goes with many other colors, so you should be able to mix other colors. Yeah, absolutely. Blue with red roof. Blue with red roof. Like a police car. Ah, my son painted our barn gray with white trim. It looks awesome. Oh, that's cool. People used to paint their barns red because it was the very cheapest color. I thought it was they turned red. Like originally they painted it with like something that rusted or with something that was rusty or something, and it just turned red. And that's where that came from. But that could be a myth. Could also be a myth that it was cheap. Who knows, right?
Archie just did like a backflip in the air.
Yeah, Archie and Penny are playing out with
Gina.
China. They're running around. Well, China's right here, chewing on a bone. Oh wait, right there. And then the cats,
There's one in that tree over there.
they're over there somewhere.
Back in.
Linseed oil turns red. Ah, look, that mosquito tried to get me. No, thank you. Dark colors will make the barn hot. Maybe that's what you want. Probably we don't want that, but
It'll be good for winter.
yeah, it could be good for winter. We're getting sheep. Sheep don't actually need a shelter at all, so it's not. It won't be a big deal.
Shelter, but not like a.
They need a shelter in the rain and in the snow, but they don't
Yeah.
need walls. Um, so we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it instead of the door being on the side. You know, that's the shape of the roof. We are going to put it on the broad side. Well, we're going to have one on the broad side and on the normal side, so it can be nice and open. We'll see. Things might change. But anyway, let me tell you guys about what we did today. Today was a Ashley. She was weeding the garden. She did 1.5 beds now. She did it 99.9% by herself. I pulled like, I don't know, like 11 weeds. And then I went and did my own thing. And one of the things I wanted to do today is mow the lawn. 5th mow of the season. And so I'm mowing the lawn. I'm doing all good. And I noticed that it's just pushing the grass over, right? The grass got really tall because of all the rain. So we couldn't mow for a minute. And it got really tall. And like the dandelions, of course, went to seed and they're like this tall or whatever, right? And I noticed that the lawnmower is just kind of pushing the grass onto its side. And I was like, man, that's kind of annoying. So I look under like the little flap thing and I see that the blades are like completely round. And I was like, oh, that would make sense. I need to sharpen those blades. So I bring it to the garage here. I jack it up and then I take off both blades. This deck is a 38-inch deck, so it's got two blades, and so I take both of them off, sharpen them on the grinder, and put them back on. Everything's good. Didn't change anything, except for I noticed that this one bar uh, somehow came loose, but not for me. It's always been loose because I noticed that the handle for upping and lowering the deck is crooked, so it's always been loose. So I decided to put it into place where it's supposed to be. Okay, so I didn't do anything wrong as far as I can estimate, and I go to start it, and whatever, it starts and is all good. Then I have an electronic engager, whatever you call it, where it'll engage the blades, and I flick it, and I hear the familiar right. That's a terrible impression, and let me kind of show you. I start right here, and I go this way. Okay. And that's probably, I don't know, 2 seconds or less of mowing, and I just see billowing smoke. And I was like, what the hell is this? All this smoke is just like, and then I hear, and I was like, oh shit, turn off the blades, and then I look underneath and I don't see anything. I thought maybe I put the belts on wrong, which doesn't make any sense. But I'm like looking around for all these different things, and I'm like, that's very weird. I wonder if like something got stuck in the. Look at that Mr. Miyagi action. Anyway, I spend 5 hours troubleshooting this stupid lawnmower, and it turns out, if I'm correct, it turns out that it's clutch mechanism that engages the lower belts on the mower deck is broken. It's seized, and I don't know if it has anything to do with me taking off the lawnmower blades or that's just a coincidence. I don't imagine it could be because it doesn't really make any sense because it's not the same mechanism. I don't know if it has anything to do with me fixing that little linkage thing. It did make the belt a lot tighter because before it was like loose, but now it's like nice and taut. And but I could move it free if I like gave it some elbow grease. And yeah, so 5 hours to figure out this stupid lawnmower.
Literally all day.
Yeah. So Ashley got lots done. If you don't understand the tediousness of pulling weeds, weed by weed, like like taking the thing. Oh, he got away. Right, digging out all the different weeds, putting them in the bucket, going to the next. Yeah, she did that for like 5 hours. I screwed around with this lawnmower for 5 hours. And oh, hey Matthew, thanks for being here. If the belt is now tight, did the bearings in the shaft seize up? See, that's what I think happened. The bearings in the clutch. I forget what it's called, but some dude on YouTube said what it was. The belt isn't too tight as far as I can gather because now the thing is fixed. Unless whoever owned it before me broke that linkage thing, didn't put it back together, bought a smaller belt, but it is a John Deere belt. So I imagine it came with the machine. I don't know. I don't know, Chris, but let me tell you, very frustrating. So I'm going to order one of those tomorrow. And hopefully that's it. So I kept driving it without turning on the deck, and I'm driving it just to see like what else could be wrong, like if it's not that, because like I don't know, right? I've never owned a ride-on mower before, and I've never had to work on one. It's not overly complicated. Like once you look at it, you can kind of figure out like, okay, this drives this, and then that drives this belt, which drives that belt, which goes down to these pulleys here, which drive these belts here that turn the blades, sort of thing, right? But I didn't know what this thing was, but it turns out it's a clutch, which makes sense. So I'm driving it around. I take that clutch off because I'm like, well, this is garbage, and I can feel like, or I can see that it's like, so it's supposed to be like a hamburger, right? Pretend that my hands are like nice and straight, okay? But now it's like this, where like the hamburger has a mouth. Something's not right. So I took it off, and I like messed with it, and it's all loosey goosey. I don't know how tight everything's supposed to be, but anyways, I took it off. Then I drove it again, but it turns out that like I'm driving it, and then suddenly it just stops driving. Like I put it into gear and it just stops, and I'm like, what the heck? What's going on now? Put it in reverse, still nothing. I was like, oh, perfect. Look underneath there. Well, first I get frustrated and then just leave it. I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm gonna just weed whack the stuff that I didn't get to yet, which was just a little bit. I would have preferred to do it on the mower, but whatever. Weed whacked it all, and then I was so mad that I didn't want to do anything because I just spent however long, and now I couldn't even drive the freaking thing anymore. I was like, now I'm gonna have to buy a new lawnmower. I mean, this one I got for free from Armando, so that was awesome. But I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, hey Armando, you got another free lawnmower I can have? But so I thought maybe I'd have to buy a new lawnmower. I even was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like looking at all the. I wanted to get another old John Deere, and so I'm looking at all of them, and they're like 1,500, 1,700, 2,500, and then I was like, well, can't do that right now, so I'm just gonna leave it, weed whacked, and I'm like, I'm only doing this, and then screw the rest of the day. But then it became like therapeutic by accident. I was like, okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'll weed whack this. Okay, now I'll weed whack that. Then I went into the other yard, like the front yard. Well, this is weird. This is my front door right here. So this right here, okay, which is I guess a normal size front yard. Maybe a little bit bigger if you're in the city, but for like a bigger city lot, I would say that's probably normal. But like the front of the property is over that way. So anyways, I go over there and my fire pit is over there, and I'm like, okay, I'll weed whack around this, weed whack around the house, and then I was like, oh, I should weed whack around the fire pit, and then I'll weed whack behind the firewood, and that's the entrance to the trail. So then I'm like, I'll weed whack part of this trail, and then I get to the where it forks, and I'm like, okay, I'll weed whack this. And then I'm like, well, I already did that. I may as well weed whack this. And then I ran out of gas. And then I had I guess you could call it an appointment via a phone call. And so I talked on the phone for like, probably like an hour and a half. It was a while. And some cool things happening. Stay tuned for that. May never happen, but hopefully it does. It's up to Ashley, kind of, so.
You're like a side eye.
I think you'll like it. Anyway, then I gas up the thing, and then I did the rest of the trail. I did all 4 trails. Or how many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did all 4 trails. And yeah. Hey guys, what do you think about this? We've been thinking. So you know how we have that crow? We introduced him last vlog, not the one that I just released, but the one before that. What did I call it? The birds and the bees are out. Time to start our garden or something. I called it something like that. But anyways, I finally caught Gapwing on camera. And he lives in this forest here. What do you guys think of... Because remember when I was trying to think of a name for the forest? What do you guys think of Gapwing Forest? Doesn't that sound cool? I kind of like that. Ashley named the crow that. And we see him almost every day. But yeah, he's going to grow back. Once he molts or whatever crows do, he's going to grow it back. And so we won't be able to distinguish him. But if another crow gets in a fight with a raven, or however he lost a feather, then he or she will pick up the moniker. Dead Goat Memorial Forest. Dude, we already named one of the trails the Dead Goat Trail, so I think that's good enough. One of them is called the Joshua Nicholson Trail, Memorial Trail. That's the first one. And then there's the Mossy Lane, Dead Goat Trail. And I don't know if we named the other ones yet. But then the forest itself, Gapwing Forest. Sounds like a Forrest Gump run. Huh. Gapwing Grove. They're so loud. Funny enough, we have a few in Queens by us. Good name. Gaplin Woods. What's that? Gaplin? What's Gaplin? I like it. Go for it. The Enchanted Forest. Flooring comes in August. It does. Gapling. Actually, what about your floors? When are you going to get the flooring in? Does this person ask this all the time, or is that a different person? Yeah, it takes 12 weeks from
12
when we
weeks?
ordered it.
I thought it was 13 weeks. 12. And then it has to acclimatize.
Then it has to acclimatize for 2 to 3 weeks. We're just going to go with the longest. We're not going to have any, we're not going to hurry. We're going to set it in the house, and then after a while we'll also spread it out. When we're getting...
Probably like September is probably when we'll get it, I think.
We'll probably start doing the floor when we slow down outside. Because guys, beyond like the regular lawn maintenance, like what I attempted to do today, we have like slowly but surely, we're like moving earth. We're like pruning trees. We're snapping trees, branches off. And we're trying to get a little bit of a handle on our aesthetic, if you will. And I freaking love this, guys. It looks so much better than when we first almost
Well,
said landed here.
when we first moved in, the grass was like knee high, and there were trees in the driveway, and
Yeah, there was legit. Actually, I won't. It's too dark now, but there's a tree stump. I hit it today. It's this big around. I didn't even know it was there, but I mowed my sidewalk because it had grass on both sides. So I drove on top of the sidewalk. I didn't mow the sidewalk. The blade doesn't go down that far, but you know, just got all the grass that was sticking up. And then I into a stump that's there that was growing like literally right
at the bottom of the stairs.
right here. There was probably like 8 trees there. There was like 30 trees in this side yard right here. There was like probably 30 or so. We're probably going to take this tree down, by the way, because we have a well right here, and this might be drinking the water from the well, because we have terrible water replenishing at the moment. We might have to dig a new well. That will suck. It's cheaper to cut down a tree because it's 20 grand to dig a well.
We're not running out of water.
No, but it's...
But the guy said it was low.
Yeah, it's low.
So cutting down that tree.
It's an artesian well, though, so I don't really know how that works. How does the water taste? It's not good, but it's not bad. So it's well water, and a lot of time well water is hard, but our water is moving. It's an artesian well, so that... I don't know what the exact definition is, but it's a flowing stream underground sort of thing. So, yeah.
But I imagine that tree is using a lot of water right there.
Yeah, it probably is. Because it was dead. I mean,
yeah.
So we thought, and like, look at it now.
Yeah, definitely not dead.
So, lawnmowers get used to it. They're always having problems. Great idea with floors when outdoor work is done. Oh yeah, that was to finish my thought. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of things out here for as long as we can, and then get back in here. Cause like, remember when I started my closet? Well, then it turned into a, what do you call it? Brooder?
Yeah.
Turned into a brooder. We had the chicks in there, and then I was like, well, I can't do any work in here now. So.
Also the basement.
Yeah, how you guys know that I'm working on the office. I even did a little tiny sneak peek of the destroyed floor from our freaking hose. Guys, if you have the chance to buy an acreage that has been foreclosed and neglected and sabotaged by the previous owners, don't do it. I mean, do it if you think it's worth it, which we do, but holy crap, is it ever frustrating where you're like, okay, got that done. Oh, by the way, you need a new septic. What? Although I walked back there today as I was doing the trail, and it's not coming up.
Oh, that's good.
So that's good.
Yeah.
It's still broken, but
yeah,
at least we're not going to be walking and, you know. I think that may be a very little rain. That may be a very little rain issue in Canada for a few years now. It's causing the springs to run low and or dry. True. Although last year and the year before we had probably more rain days than we had sunny days. And but this winter was bad. Yeah, it snowed maybe like 5 or 6 times. Usually it'll snow every week. This time it's like not even close. And our pond down there, it's growing grass on the banks where it used to like I don't know, like maybe like 20 feet. Maybe not quite 20, maybe like 15 feet. It's just, now it's grass. And it sucks. But these trees, they drink like 100 gallons of water a day, so can't be great. If it's like, it's literally like
3 feet, 4 feet.
It's a little more than 4 feet away from the well, and those roots grow deep. That reminds me of Lord of the Rings. I heard that. Ready to move out of this dump and cut our losses at this point. No wonder my house was so cheap. Our house was cheap too, which is why we figured it was worth it. But we like this property. We like how there's no neighbors over there. We like, well, we have one neighbor here. I was going to say we don't have any neighbors anywhere else, but Armando, he's like the best. So we lucked out with him. There's no neighbors over on that side. I mean, technically there is, but our land comes to a point. So, and there's trees. So we never see them. And their property is, I don't, nails. Their property comes, whatever comes out, I, it's different, and most of their property is grass. So the only time I see them is when they're mowing their grass for like 17 hours out of the day. But yeah, anyways, guys, that was our day today. A lot of frustration, but I think I know what the problem is with that lawnmower. So we should be able to order a new piece and then get it in. If it's not it, I'm going to be so bummed. I'll probably try to bring it to one of our other neighbors. If he's down to have a look at it. He's a mechanic. Because I just don't know what the heck it could be if it's not that. It looks peaceful there. It's nice. We were actually just on the roof. Oh, we could have done it from the roof. That was a cool sunset. Maybe on one of these days coming, not tomorrow because it's going to thunderstorm, but one of these days coming up, I can show you guys we can't see most of the sunset because there's trees in the way, but it looked cool up there. We were up there cleaning out the gutters, which there was nothing in them, so that was a waste of time, but it was nice. It's supposed to be a hot day tomorrow. Yeah, plus 27 Celsius.
And then thunderstorms in the afternoon.
And then thunderstorms in the afternoon or evening. But we'll see. Tomorrow I start another vlog, I think, if all goes to plan. Today I was going to start it because I was going to be like, it should only take me like, what, 2 hours to do the grass?
Yeah.
I mowed for probably an hour and then spent 5 hours trying to fix this freaking... And like I had it there, I jacked it up, went into the garage, got all the tools I needed, did this, took that apart, looked at this, pulled this spring, moved that spring, got this going, looked at this, belts are all good, sick, put it back together. It's like when I exploded, or the paint sprayer, if you guys watched the vlog where that was so frustrating, dude. I almost destroyed that thing. I was gonna be like, Johnny, I owe you a paint sprayer. Because like the gun in the handle, it was broken or something. I don't know. I took the whole thing apart, put it back together, sprayed it, and I was like, again. Took it apart, did it again. Then I learned. I like held it sideways and went like this, and it was like, I was like, okay, screw this. Screw this. I'm not doing it again. I went to the store, bought some new parts for it, put it back together, rearranged it. I probably did it like 5 or 6 times. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a new gun. New gun, 200 and... I forget how much it was. It's expensive. New machine was 300 and something. Barely any more. Just, a couple bills more. Or a couple 20s more, I should say. A bill is 100. And then it was a breeze. And now I have a paint sprayer, so that would be great. But yeah. And another thing. I'm going to go here in a second, but I want to just... I had a... Zenova was... Zenovia was here the other day. And I forget what we were talking about. But anyways, we went inside the shop and we were talking about stump grinding because we have like this stump that's like this big around or whatever, and I wanted him to see if he could grind it for me because I didn't want to hack away at it with a... Huh?
Him?
Oh, Hans was also here. I didn't want to hack away with it at an axe forever to take it away or to get it gone. So anyways, we go into the shop. I think we were talking about something. I can't remember what it was, but anyways, I showed him my floor Now, if you guys have been watching the vlog where Clint moves in, I think it was that one. I probably showed it a few times where I show the floor has these huge cracks in it, and like there's frost heaves, so the crack, like it's at different heights and stuff. When we build the new shop, we're gonna have to take that floor out and pour a new pad, and the new footprint is gonna be 16 feet deeper, and I believe the length of the shop is about 50 feet or 55 feet. So it's gonna be 50 by 40. So it's going to be quite big. And to jackhammer all that up, get it hauled away to concrete recycle or wherever, and to pour a whole new pad is going to cost tons of money, even though I'm going to get Clint to do it. So even with Clint giving me, friends and family discount, which I didn't ask for, he just told me that he would, that's going to cost way too much. So that's going to delay getting a new one longer than 5 years, which I plan on getting the new shop in 5 years. That may not work out because there could be surprises popping up, and it may take 10 years. Who knows? But anyway, I was talking to Zenobia, and she said something about the cracks. I forget what she said about them, but I told her, based off of her having that idea, I was like, I had the idea of pouring orange, yellow, and red mixed epoxy in the cracks because it looks kind of like an earthquake. Some of the cracks are quite wide. And pouring epoxy in there, and now that it's heated, it shouldn't be susceptible to the frost heave as much. But anyways, pouring epoxy in there with LED lights that would like look like they're glowing and pulse and stuff. And the hey Lewis, um, the epoxy in there would look like lava through the cracks. I'm not sure if I told you guys about that yet or not. But anyways, having that idea, I was like, why don't I keep the old floor so that I can do an art project with it, and then just do a 16 by 50 pad in the back because it's already two pads. I'm not sure how well that will work, but that's what I'm going with so far. I think that would be cool. It would add a dimension to the shop because I have so many ideas for it. I want it to have. I think I told Zenobia about this too, and she was like, I was just gonna ask you. I was thinking about, because it's gonna be 2 stories. The second story, I was thinking about having glass floors, like not the whole thing, but just pieces of glass floor. Uh, in certain places, and then a fireman pole to go down. I think it would be super cool. Now, this is my dream shop we're talking about, so it may take way longer than 5 years to do it because when I do it, I'm going to do it how I want to do it, and it's going to be so Ashley can park in there, so it's going to have everything that we need. It's going to be car storage and workshop without the two getting in the way of each other. If Ashley parked in there now, like, there's no room. I can't park in there because I'm too tall. I guess I could fit, just barely. Um, but yeah, I'll have it so that we can park 2 cars in there. I was thinking about getting a lift actually, so I could have 3 cars in there, and then metal shop, wood shop, and then upstairs paint studio and small gallery type environment, kind of like what you see now, but bigger and better with like dust collection, all sorts of things. Should be cool. Again, that's my dream shop. We'll see. Maybe I'll win the lottery tomorrow. Anyways, guys.
It's getting dark.
It is getting dark. What time is it?
10:54.
10:54. It's about 11 o'clock, so I will see you guys. No, I won't see you. Well, some of you I might see, but you'll see me next time. Adding some resin and colored cement would look really cool. Hope you win the lottery.
There was one question that I was going to ask you.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody, I can't remember who it was a while back, but someone asked, They said they liked your Janice painting.
The Janis Joplin painting?
Yeah, and they are asking if you listen to the music of the artist when you paint the artist.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but for Janis Joplin, I only like 4 of her songs, so I can't just continually be listening to her. Like, I like I don't know what it's called, but the Mercedes-Benz one, and obviously the classic, what is it called? Take Another Little Piece of My Heart.
Mm.
That one, and I like the other obvious one. For some reason, I'm blanking. I'm not very good with song titles. I'm just like, oh, I know that song. Uh, Make it a sitting area with outdoor art. With outdoor art. Huh? I'm not sure
The
what
old pad. The old concrete pad.
Oh. Well, no, I need it to be like the shop is going to be in the same spot more or less. So I need it to
Oh my gosh, they're biting my feet.
and someone else said something here. You guys can win the Alberta vaccine lottery. Yeah. I can't see it. If the floor is lower on one side than the other, that was done by an earthquake. We don't really have earthquakes here. That was done by frost heave, actually. It happens, it's very common when you have cracks in your uh, floor, and if water gets in there, like the the driveway. Speaking of when we moved here, the the front was all grass, and it was about this much higher than the concrete pad. So when the snow would melt or when it would rain, all that water runs into the garage.
Oh, ah.
And then when it runs into the garage, it it refreezes, gets in the cracks, and then the cracks open up further. Water can get down underneath the pad, it freezes, and it lifts up. Very common here. Happens like to every when you go to the ghetto or whatever, all the ghetto-y places here, when I do jobs in those areas, that's a very common sight. And then usually those things are like, fixing rot in walls and stuff, stuff like that. And then you can see the frosty, like it's very uneven, cracks and fractures, I guess you could call them, where they're not so big yet. But yeah, they always get worse. And then steps will be like completely sideways and stuff. That can happen anywhere, not just in the ghetto-y places. It happens everywhere. But typically, when people are buying up in the cheaper neighborhoods, they're trying to make it nice so that they can sell their house for a lot eventually.
Judy says, do you have prints of Janice painting for sale yet?
I don't have them in my possession, but it is currently for sale. It won't be able to go out tomorrow's Monday?
Yeah.
Won't be able to go out tomorrow, but we'll be able to go out next mail day. That doesn't help at all, but I'm going to go now. So thanks, guys.
Said it was hard to see your face.
Oh. Hello, everyone who's coming on. Are you doing Mary prints? What is that? Mary?
The par.
Oh, no. No. You must be new.
No, Miranda isn't new.
Oh, no?
Smurfm says, any updates on if Lola is a Lola or RuPaul?
It's probably a rooster.
I'm pretty sure it's a rooster. Yesterday morning, I let them out of the coop and he crowed 5 times.
She didn't get it on camera,
I didn't have my phone.
She ran inside?
Yeah.
And I was like, what's wrong? And she didn't even answer me. She just grabbed her phone and ran back outside, and he didn't do it again.
No.
In case you have to buy 2 more boards. For the...
Oh, thanks, Vicky.
That's funny, yeah. Isn't that insane, the price of wood now? Like, seriously, for those 2 pieces of wood, it should have cost me $3. $15. Yeah, it's insane. Oh, and guys, unfortunately, we might lose Opal? Is that what her name is?
No,
She's slow.
she's not, yeah.
We might not lose her. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
She seems to be a little... What do you call it?
She's like the runt of 4, I would say.
She's having a hard time at the moment.
Not a hard time.
It just seems
She's
to be
just slower.
way slower.
Yeah.
So slow.
I'm not sure.
Chris, not looking forward to doing the roof, etc. this year. Bro, wait one more year. Or something. They do know there's a fault line in the Mississippi. In the Mississippi. Are we close to the Mississippi? I don't think so. I'd buy a Jerry Garcia print, just saying. Jerry Garcia, I don't know who that is.
Oh, yes.
What?
I saw someone ask if you had painted them before. I
Oh,
can't
really?
remember who it was, yeah.
Huh.
Is that a musician as well?
I imagine. Okay. The other way to know if there was earthquake or dishes will shake. Yeah, no, we don't have earthquakes here. I mean, maybe there are some every once in a while. We have tornadoes sometimes. We have, what's it called with the wind? Not a hurricane because we're too far away from the ocean, but like the huge windstorms, like last year, and this, what is it called? Snow squalls. We have those. And what else do we have for natural disasters? We don't have the worst natural disasters here. We're mostly just freezing cold, and we have cold snaps. We have Arctic freezing.
Vortex. Polar vortex.
Polar vortex. Yeah, that's what we have. We have way too cold and we have way too hot. But we don't really have too much for heat waves. We only get to about, our worst, I think, in recorded history is like plus 48 or plus 50 or something like that Celsius. So I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what plus 50 Celsius is? That's probably like 110 maybe. Oh, and big hail. Yeah. Like last year we had like those baseball hails. I thought Tina's running in circles. I thought the hail was fake. When people were showing pictures, I was like, no, it's not. And then I'm like, oh shit, it is. It's freaking huge. Plus 50 is over 120. Holy shit. Okay. That is hot. I don't know if we've gotten to plus 50 before.
I think she rolled in something stinky.
Oh, she did.
It's like a daily.
Oh. Tornadoes. We do get tornadoes very sparsely. Usually it's just funnel clouds, but last year, one touchdown somewhere, not near us, but sort of near us. Last year we did, Josh, with the Humidex. I don't know what a Humidex is, but hottest here was 115, says Cindy.
So she's all excited because she rolled in something stinky.
We were hotter than New Zealand average temp and Australia's average temp. Arizona gets hot. Yeah, that's right, Mickey. My sister lives there, and holy crap. And I don't like AC blowing in my face, so when I was there visiting my sister, I was sitting in the car, right? I was driving, and I'm like this, and I went like this, and my shirt stayed stuck to the chair. It was like, it was disgusting. I was so wet from sweating for like, I don't know how long we were driving, like half an hour from Florence to Tucson. I don't know how long that drive is, but dang. Not great. Or Phoenix to Phoenix. Florence to Phoenix. Anyways, guys, how many times have I said this? I'm going to go. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for checking out what I'm all about. If you're new, I noticed there's some new people, so thanks for subscribing. Pardon me. Just had some pizza. What about when you were watching that horse watch you? When was that? Watching a horse watch? Oh, in Arizona, right? Yeah, I forget. what the deal was with that. But yeah, there was just a horse chilling up in the hill for like, I don't know how long, but it just stayed still. Okay. See me next time, guys. Thanks for hanging out.